Welcome back, Globetrotters. The United States might be one of the most recognized and visited countries globally, but being an American doesn't guarantee a warm welcome everywhere. In fact, there are several places where having a U.S. passport might not work in your favor. From political tensions to historical conflicts, the reasons are varied and complex. Today, we're diving into the top 9 countries where Americans are not exactly greeted with open arms in 2024. But before we dive into the list, we'd love your support. If you find this video helpful or interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more travel insights and updates. Your support helps us create more informative content just like this. Now, let's get started. Let's kick things off with, starting with Myanmar. This Southeast Asian nation with nearly 55 million residents is not the easiest place for Americans to visit. The country has been in turmoil since a military coup in February 2021, leading to civil unrest and conflict. The U.S. government advises against travel to Myanmar due to these ongoing issues, including the arbitrary enforcement of local laws and limited healthcare resources. Plus, getting a visa is a maze that takes at least 3 working days, and American tourists aren't exactly welcomed with open arms due to us imposed sanctions on Myanmar. Next, we hop over to Yemen, home to around 30 million people. Yemen has been in a devastating conflict since 2015, leading to a massive humanitarian crisis. For Americans, the idea of visiting Yemen comes with stern warnings about civil unrest, terrorism, kidnapping, and armed conflict. The U.S. State Department has a strong do not travel advisory in place, and getting a visa is incredibly challenging. Even if you do get in, hostility towards Americans due to perceived involvement in the conflict makes it a risky destination. Somalia, with a population of about 15 million, is another country where Americans might not feel welcomed. The political instability and security concerns are significant. In May 2022, President Joe Biden approved the redeployment of US soldiers to combat the al-Shabaab insurgents, which hasn't exactly improved the sentiment towards American visitors. The visa process is stringent and the risk of violence, including kidnapping, is high, making it a tough destination for Americans. Venezuela, home to over 28 million people, has a strained relationship with the U.S. Economic sanctions and political tensions have made it a challenging destination for Americans. The visa process is complex and navigating the system can be difficult. High living costs and political tensions make daily interactions challenging, and with about 23,000 U.S. citizens living in Venezuela, mostly in Caracas, the sense of being unwelcome is palpable. Libya, with a population of around 7 million, is another challenging destination. The U.S. Department of State has a do not travel advisory due to dangers like crime, terrorism, civil unrest, and kidnapping. The 2012 attack on the U.S. mission in Benghazi marked a turning point in US-Libya relations, making it a difficult place for American tourists. The visa process is tough and Americans face significant bureaucratic challenges and security risks. Syria, with its rich history and culture, has been overshadowed by years of conflict. The U.S. has a level 4 travel advisory due to terrorism, civil unrest, kidnapping, and armed conflict. The visa process for Americans is extremely difficult, and the strained relations between the two countries add to the complexity. The ongoing conflict and general suspicion towards foreigners, particularly Americans, make it a risky destination. Afghanistan, with a population of about 38 million, is high on the list of places where Americans are unwelcome. The U.S. Department of State strongly advises against travel due to terrorism, wrongful detention, and crime. The visa process is daunting, and U.S. citizens without a valid visa face significant penalties. The historical and ongoing tensions between the two countries make it a particularly challenging destination. Iraq, with a population of around 40 million, has a complicated relationship with the U.S. Since the 2003 US-led invasion, the security situation has remained unstable. The visa process is extremely complex and the risk of violence is high. The strained relations and high security risks make Iraq a challenging destination for Americans. Iran, with a population of about 83 million, is a land of ancient history and stunning landscapes, but its relationship with the U.S. is complicated. The 1979 Iran hostage crisis and ongoing political tensions contribute to a level 4 travel advisory. The visa process can take months and Americans are at risk of arbitrary arrest and detention. Despite its cultural richness, visiting Iran as an American is fraught with challenges. North Korea, with around 25 million residents, tops the list. The U.S. government strongly advises against travel due to the risk of arrest and long-term detention. Since September 2017, U.S. citizens are banned from using their passports to enter North Korea, except under specific circumstances. Even before this ban, the visa process was extremely strict and Americans had to be part of tightly controlled tour groups. The extreme level of surveillance and the risk of detention make North Korea a highly risky destination for Americans. So, there you have it. The top 10 countries where Americans are not exactly welcomed with open arms in 2024. Each of these countries has its own unique set of challenges and complexities that make travel difficult and potentially dangerous for U.S. citizens. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more insights, and let us know in the comments which country surprised you the most. Thanks for watching and safe travels.